It's a little later than I normally stream. Well, at least start streaming. I don't know if we're gonna finish this tonight, but I wanted to play. Um, my apartment had a pool party, and they had like dinner and drinks, and it was quite good. And then they had a little raffle, which I did not win. Maybe I'll turn the game up. Just probably never did that. Okay. But yeah. It's also a little dark. I didn't want to turn the big light on. As in, I only have lamps on, and normally when I stream, it's like a big lamp. I didn't want to turn the big lamp on because it's kind of nice and cozy. Okay. Now with this though, I'm honestly not entirely sure what we're looking for. So we need to figure out if they're like actually root trees. And we can at least see smoking guns found 4 out of 4, so we have all of the pieces here. So somehow we need to be able to verify whether or not they are a blood relative or not, or it's impossible to prove. Has this always been there? I guess so. I just never noticed it. Why does show everything show? Okay, there we go. I was like, where are all my pieces of evidence? No. Okay. I'm wondering if... I know it's because I'm looking away from my mic right now, but... Weird. Okay, whatever. So I'm really not entirely sure. I feel like this is probably correct because she's obsessed with redheads. I almost feel like I should have looked at an example or something. But if we go back to this, we can scroll through them. We have a clue here we haven't found. So we don't know who these are. Well, we know he's a blood relative, right? So if I like go through this and let's see if we can find anything else. I don't know if we've looked up Riley Fellows. Goodness. Car just zoomed past outside. Yeah, I have no idea what's going on with my mic. I'll have to figure that out. Whatever. Okay. Riley Fellows. Why is this a part of David Fellows? Did he go to this school too? Am I spelling his name right? Yeah. Could look up Felix Fellows, because that's his rap name. Or 5 Ps. Oops. So something in here. Hmm. I don't know what this word means. Spider shirt. Nothing. Okay. So maybe there's something between Ruby and David? I'm not entirely sure. Yeah, Fountain of Youths is a part of it. Were they in the same foster system? Like, after his mom died? Wonder if he grew up in Portland. Like, if we go to Portland Telegraph. Yeah, his hometown's newspaper that mentioned him. 3 out of 5. Does that count as us finding something? I don't think so. No, still 11 out of 15. Okay, so they maybe grew up together? Maybe related of some sort? I'm not sure. Okay, so these are probably pieces of evidence because I think they're alphabetical order. So something between, it's gonna be the, and then something between F and R, right? That's gotta be how it works. So maybe we have something else in the Herald that we just haven't picked up. Nothing new. Okay, that just gives the same thing. That's from searching Felix Fellows. And we did search here, right? Or the Herald. Believe we did. I guess it could be any of these between here too, right? Oops. Yeah, we've already got that. Ooh, what if we look up Portland's Park and Recreation? No. What about, yeah, that's all the same. Did review his latest album. What was his latest album? Maybe we could find that review. Besides 3 out of 5. Root of all evil. Oh, that didn't give us anything. Hmm. Well, this is Business Watch. That should be first, technically, so I guess it's by... Okay, so T doesn't count. Okay. So it has to be Ruby Sprat, it just has to be a different article, I guess. So between the Herald... Potentially. So this doesn't count? Or maybe it just doesn't count here. Yeah, they definitely had to have been in, like, the foster care system together. We've got all the periodicals, I believe. We got the achievement. Maybe that's not how this works. I don't know. I assumed it would be, like, alphabetical. Let's see. We also haven't gotten the spouse. Which we'd probably find it here, wherever this is. I just don't really understand what I'm trying to look for. So there's something specifically in here that's related to Fabio. Right, that's his name? Blah. Yeah. Close enough. Which is probably this. So we know Sonia doesn't go by Sonia. Yeah, Nia. I guess we'll start with one that we've got all the evidence for, which we've got all of his. I guess we'll read through it. Sam's book has a few different passages about her own history with the company and the rumors and gossip she collected during the tenure. She ran the farm for a period starting around 1968 after the death of Elias Roottrees until her daughter Gwyneth took over in 1984. Most of the relevant rumors coincide with the reign of Guy Hudson, who took over as president in 1978. Sam was not a fan of Guy. Yep. Private parties. So this is... or... Elizabeth, yep. Okay. So this is the information that we need from here. Sam speculates that Elias may have also cheated on Gwyneth. Gwyneth was much kinder to Sam than Elias was. He was the first to invite Sam to family events. While she has no hard evidence, Sam always got the impression that Gwyneth was able to coerce Elias into allowing Sam back into the family using some kind of leverage, instead of it being a natural course of events. She mentioned that Elias and Gwyneth were known to loudly argue, sometimes about another woman. Sam, who says her son Ernie, once asked her who's Beth. However, we know Gwyneth has a lisp, so that'd be who's Bess, because he overheard them yelling about someone with that name. As far as Sam knows, Elias once had a secretary named Elizabeth, a different Elizabeth than the supervisor from the farm, but she never met her. So it's not Elizabeth, it's Bess. Bess Williams. Okay, what else do we have here? Cruelty. Yeah, this is this. That's how we figure out the lisp, is that the TH is an S. Stuck in the arm with a bullet. Sweetwater, Florida. He grew up an orphan because his family died in a hurricane when he was very young. Yeah. Barely remember his mother and had no memory of his father. Lived just outside of Miami. Da-da-da-da. Hurricane. Family Man is widely considered blatant propaganda about Elias Roottrees. So, show older. So did they, like, meet up? How did Florida and Pennsylvania cross over? I wonder if we come back here. Do we have Family Man here? Oops. New system coming fall 1999. Okay, yeah, no downloadable version. I think it's possible. I mean, there's no way to, like, prove that he is, right? But there's nothing saying that he's not. I wonder if we can go by looks. I think it's very plausible that they're definitely Roottrees. $1949. Do we know when he was born? Religious hymn, covered over the years by many artists, so it's likely not very relevant. Do we know how old he is? Stuart Clementine? Doesn't look like it. I think they're probably definitely Roottrees. Oh, we still haven't found something else here. Are periodicals last? Yeah, periodicals are last. What does he go by? Croc? Is it Croc Clementine? Crocodile? Billy Sims. Yeah, Crocodile Clementine. I guess we'll just go through them all. See if it gives us anything. Yeah, that's the same. I've seen this before. Okay. So... would it be after M? Maybe it's still Mary Beth Clementine. The Old Rugged Cross? It's probably not in these either. I wonder what else we're looking for. Maybe there's more about this person. Which... ooh. This is new. Crime Blotter article about Edith Jacobson that also mentions a Helen Rootree and a Lucinda Jacobson. In 1971, when she was 18. Oh! Edith is a... right? Yeah, Edith Jacobson, Miracle Jr.'s wife. Okay. Arrested for trespassing at the Miracle Congregation's church in Butler County. They were pretending. to be church employees in an attempt to get into the room where the church houses their weekly tithings. The church didn't press charges. They were caught by Helen Roottrees, who was there at the time while her husband Miracle was away preaching. Helen Roottrees was quoted as saying, "Jesus forgives and so do we. The Lord works in mysterious ways, and I am confident he has brought these young women to us for a great purpose." Okay, well that was new. So did she change her name to get out of that then? So yeah, there's definitely a correlation there. If she bailed what's his face out of jail. So what was that here? So I'd be so surprised if there's not like a news article on this. Why would someone change their name? It's like, I mean, I get it. They got a whole bunch of money from doing that, right? Oh yeah, free meals for life. Hmm. So that's all related to Miracle anyways. So it would have been, what is his not cousin? Confusing. I think they're probably definitely Roottrees. Or at least he is for sure, with the whole complication. Oh, that was it. That was what we needed. $1971. And then I'm not sure where we read that, but I do remember. Yeah, paid for by her. Hmm. Don't know about him though. He keeps out of the limelight. He's a police officer. Other than her being in Butler County in 1949. Wait, she adopted both? Like the same year? In the same year. Really? Specifically there to detail her experience going through the system to adopt Stuart. I think maybe Stuart's actually adopted. Unusual circumstances. I'm gonna say he's not. So, do we get like confirmation on any of this? Ten possible root trees left to identify. I'm just confused. They're twins, right? Which that's possible because he's a twin. That's very possible. Twins normally skip a generation, like, hypothetically. But if one of them's a root tree, then they're both a root tree. I think they probably both are, if I had to guess. They're not identical. So this is in relation to this one. According to Elizabeth, a caterer from a local restaurant called Antonelli's met her daughter at one of Guy's parties, and they eloped quickly due to a pregnancy. Elizabeth wasn't aware that the party was for swingers. Rumor has it that her daughter showed up with Guy and didn't seem comfortable switching partners. Yeah, this is fry dye, vegetarian dishes. So weird. They're not even... I mean, I guess it is vegetarian if they're all just vegetables. Yeah, the book. Get to go back to secretary. We look up the Sistine Chapel. No. Yeah. This I feel like for sure. 2 buns in the oven twins. Yeah, I feel like they're absolutely. I'm gonna say they're Roottrees. Ooh, we still have either a web search or periodical to find here. I know we Googled this. I don't know if we searched periodicals though. Yeah, huge controversy. Excuse for an otherwise unexplainable pregnancy, they'd fly their clients to America where they would stay for an extended period of time. Presented the Department of Health and Human Services with credible evidence. At the time of the article, it was still an ongoing investigation, but Business Watch speculated after copies of the proof were leaked to various media sources that they couldn't imagine a world in which the company would be allowed to continue operations without facing serious legal and financial consequences. Where was this located? Just says America, but where in America? Portland Telegraph. Eco-T. Oh, that was it. I feel like that means she is. Which we know he DNA tested positive as a Rootree. I feel like probably all of guys are his. He seems like he slept around. I mean, he was a swinger, his wife was a lesbian, so makes sense. I do want to find the rest of his articles, though. We have 2 more pieces of evidence. A website. References a popular movie. Oh yeah, the confusion between his birthday. The album had not been released in 1994. Or had to have been released in 1994 at the earliest. Let's look up the mixtape. Released in the early 90s. Somewhere, yeah. Multiple versions with different track lists. What if I look up this in the periodical? I guess we'll just go through all of them. This is the movie, not the song. We can look up the song next. We go to pop culture. Go Pico Tea. Released as Dirty Davy. Female actresses, models. Released in 1996. So this is the one that we don't know what year. I wish we could see like what the actual lyrics to this were. Why couldn't he have just seen it 2 years later? I'm not really sure what that has to do with anything. Yeah, money, root of all your blah 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 blah. Okay. Yeah, some gangster from Portland. What does this have to do with it, though? Oh. He's... And we even were told that she has nothing to do with it. So he would have been orphaned for 2 years until he was an adult. Rebranding was a blatant marketing stunt at the expense of his mother's tragic past. So how old is he? It's 1999. What, 24? I want to get those pieces. Roottrees Rift. We looked up Ron. Yeah. Hmm. Feels like a bunch of nonsense that we're looking through. Susan Ford. So I wonder if we go to interpreter. Well, she was interpreter because she knows 5 languages. Neither of her kids are deaf. She's allergic to peanuts. She's got asthma. Are they also twins? They're also twins, aren't they? We don't know what color their hair is. Yeah, Susie something. Susie Ford. She was too good for him. Yeah, mistress. She was too good for him and he died soon after. She has a tattoo. Let's see, where is she? He talks about her. She's got that flower. Ah, here she is. Gosh, she looks disgusted. Christmas tree. Let's rubber ducky it. Yeah, I know. I feel like I've searched a whole lot about that. I guess we'll look it up in all the periodicals. Okay. Da-da-da-da. Which Ford's her maiden name, right? Hudson's for Guy Hudson. Oh, wait. There was one arrest, Thomas Hughes, who was coincidentally a former student at the school. Apparently, a destruction came weeks after he married the school's newest teacher, Mrs. Hughes. She was not a teacher when he went. He graduated a few years earlier. According to the reporter's investigation into police reports, trials, and restraining orders, Mr. Hughes was convinced that he was not the father of Mrs. Hughes' current pregnancy. He was released on bail, and the school has agreed to not press criminal charges after an agreement was made to pay for the damages for the couple to begin the divorce proceedings. Wait, why was he arrested? Center of crime seems someone defaced the school and vehicles outside of the brand new Hudson wing of the school. Multiple broken windows, painted with profanities and accusations of infidelity. Seems Thomas Hughes and Mrs. Hughes in the Hudson wing have all avoided further appearances. Okay, so Thomas Hughes. Thomas Hughes. I think they're for sure blood relatives. It says there's 4 possible Roottrees left to identify. Does that include him? One, 2. Or are they all just Roottrees? Or does that mean I have 2 wrong? Let me check if I do this. No, it's still 4. Did she leave for America? Wait, she didn't leave for America, though. She wanted to go to America. Terrified to move to the United States, Big Sister was desperately in love with the idea. She used to have this Butch Cassidy poster on her wall. Somehow Jerry and I were the ones sent here. Meanwhile, my sister stayed in China and has thrived there. She doesn't even like visiting the US anymore. So we need to know if she visited the US. We need periodical about that. Da, 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 da. Where would that be? Here we go. He paid, yeah. So did she go to the US for this? She had to have, right? Brand new. Yeah, because Key Jeans is in the US. And she doesn't like visiting anymore, so yeah. Okay. What happens if I turn this to an X? Does that change it to 5? No. Missing something here. Did we get that? Was that last piece? It was. So this could be a periodical, it could be a book. Flavio Suarez. He's not gonna be in that. No. Could be here. He's a news reporter, so he's probably not in any of these. Was it Teen Blast that we found something? Yeah. Ashley York. Brazilian newscaster. Fan fiction about I wonder if golden haired's like a hint. So it's gotta have to do with something about his mom's media empire. We looked this up in the periodicals. A Business Watch. Too many results. I wonder if I look up Nia Alves? Yeah. Owns many forms of media in Brazil. Mentioned her by name a few times. Most relevant appearance seems to be an article about the struggles of American media companies to do business with their foreign counterparts due to difference in laws. A few media groups and countries are discussed, including those in Africa and the Middle East. Also discussed. Okay. Due to lack of freedom of speech laws in Brazil, there's been added bureaucracy in publishing certain stories on... I'm gonna trip over that. Nia is extremely private about her identity. He supposedly once used her connections to have a reporter fired from a rival network and blacklisted. Journalists claimed that this was to shut down a story he was doing about her personal life, including that her marriage in 1973 was not of her own choice. His research claimed that she essentially had her husband forced upon her as a child bride at the age of 15. Child brides were not outlawed until 1990. It also claims that past appearances with her husband have been for show. They do not live together and she resents her own parents for the arrangement. The final claim was that she must have made her money under the table through nefarious and possibly illegal means during Brazil's dictatorship, as his research uncovered that she could not possibly have earned enough to start a media company otherwise. After making this statement, the reporter went into hiding in fear of his safety. Yeah. Do I have to say he is or isn't? This is where I'm a little confused. Wait, can I... Where are they? Can I take their blurred faces? She's blonde. Or gray. Red nails. I don't know if that matters for anything. So end these records. Yeah, because Corrine Shorts gave us something. They thought it was her. Beatrice Watts, I don't think gave anything. I'm pretty sure I've looked all these up before, but we're gonna do it again. They might all be... We could try the Butler County Times as well. Emily Seinfeld. Yeah, she's... Or he. He married in. Butterscotch. That's what's throwing me off, is we haven't figured out where butterscotch is coming from. It's gotta be that, right? $1979. Yeah, it's absolutely butterscotch. I just haven't figured out 5 pieces butterscotch. Five pieces flavor development. 5 pieces flavors. Just 5 pieces. This is old. We could look up these books actually. Let's do that. See if maybe there's anything else. Yeah, that's old. Do we think there's a volume 3? No. That would have been crazy. That would have been really cool. Like, that's what I feel like it's gotta be. Went on a media blitz. Apparently this backfired. More details came out. Let's keep looking that up. Maybe here? Not afraid to expose details. Worked as a manager at a department store in North Carolina. Said her daughter's name was Courtney May. They also said the woman that vouched for her famous cover story. They didn't identify news time, perhaps to avoid being sued. Is named Corinne S. And that she had filed for bankruptcy. The article speculates that the and Corinne were in on it together and even speculates they might have been lovers. Oh. Okay. Courtney May. In North Carolina. We don't have anything North Carolina, right? No. Interesting. Corinne. Courtney May. As a manager at a department store in North Carolina. Does that count as retail? Courtney May. Feels like we should be able to get something from that, right? Courtney May. Still need to find these. Got all those. Have all of his. Yes, so he's the only one with outstanding information. And, of course, them, I guess. May have been lovers. Let's try Watts. Let's just out of curiosity, Courtney May Watts. Holy. Oh my god, okay. Courtney May has simple website with black text on a white background and a few images. From the view counter, you can tell you're one of only a few hundred people who has visited it. She's not shy about claiming she is Jane Doe Roottrees. As proof, she has posted an unobscured cover from the time she was featured on Newstime, as well as a different picture of herself that appears to be a wedding photo. The website seems to be created in defense of her mother, who has been the target of public scrutiny. True story of Jane Doe Roottrees, courtesy of Courtney May Newton, formerly Watts. Everyone has everything wrong. My mom approached the Roottrees before 5Ps was ever on the cover of Newstime. Nobody at the Roottrees company took us seriously. They only listened to us after we appeared on TV and in magazines. The site has a scanned letter from Ruby Legal Group to Courtney May's mother, Beatrice. In a very polite legal terms, it seems to accuse her of exploiting their name and orders her to leave the Roottrees alone. Oh my gosh, wait. What if Felix and Ruby are in on a con? And Felix actually isn't, and then Ruby faked his DNA test. So what if he's actually not a Roottrees? What if he's actually not a Roottrees? Potentially. Okay, let's go back to scan letter, blah blah blah, exploiting their name and orders her to leave the Roottrees alone. It's dated from a few weeks before the 5-piece article appeared in Newstime, and it seems legitimate. Courtney May also discusses her mother's magazine feature in more detail. Do you know how difficult it was to convince anyone to tell our story? My mom didn't want to show her face because everyone in the media we approached assumed she was lying. Because her story was just like 5 pieces, but my mom's story was first. Mom was advised by Ryan and Cork to tell Newstime that seeing 5-piece on the cover was what inspired her to go public. But it's the only way Newstime would agree to it and help her get on TV. But it's not true, our story was first. But much of it seems repetitive, discusses the DNA test, and defends her mother's character. My mom is amazing. She's the nicest person in the world. She has diabetes and works at a department store, but still managed to help pay for my apartment in the big city so that I could stay with my high school sweetheart. I got a degree in nursing, so I learned about DNA in college. But I'm beginning to think it's all a lie. Mom is 100% confident that there's nobody else who could be the father. Either they did the test wrong or DNA is complete BS. She's not a liar. Hell yeah, okay. So Beatrice Watt. Watts. She is a nurse. She is married to a Newton. Okay, here's this. Oh, she is red hair all the way, baby. Oh, yeah, okay. Courtney, May, and Danny together forever. Danny. She is absolutely a Rootree. 2 possible Roottrees left. Do we think they actually are then? Oh. Wait, what? Why wouldn't they be? Okay, wait. Okay, so we need a whole lot more information here. We found one. Oh, Courtney May Watts. Holy shit. Okay, so I guess they're not in alphabetical order. I guess I could have seen that here. What if I look up Courtney May Newton? Okay, same. We'll go through with Newton and Watts. We could look up Beatrice Watts too. Okay. Yeah, because didn't they say that Ruby was throwing out DNA samples? And that she hates rich people? They're absolutely just trying to take it down from inside. By Ryan and Cork. Remarkable law firm based in North Carolina. After its senior partners, Winston Ryan and Gregory Cork. The firm mostly handles local cases and recently represented Anonymom. Their website has a section about the case, including a scan of DNA results that proved Jane Doe Rootree was not a Rootree. Alleged paternal aunt. Bonnie Kellogg? Oh, Guy's twin sister. Found all the evidence. Oh my god. Dynatico is a DNA testing company. DNA testing relatively new phenomena that allows scientific laboratories to prove a possible family relationship between two people. It's fairly cutting edge. The method by which they test samples has only become standard in the last decade. According to their site, Dynatico was responsible for the DNA test that proved Felix Fellows was a Rootree and even used it as an example of how a DNA test looks. They use it to provide some information about their progress, or their process. Whenever they take a sample in person, they put the name of the person on the test according to their legal ID, which is why it says David instead of Felix. Because Guy Hudson is dead, there's no known DNA source for Guy. They tested Felix's hair versus a hair sample sent from the Roottrees. It's listed as Jane Doe because it's not collected in person. But the Rootree company let them know it was from Bonnie Kellogg. This is why it says a paternal aunt test. The left and right sets of numbers are essentially signatures that perfectly match DNA of the two people in question and nobody else. The way the test works is that if certain parts of the signature are shared, okay. Legitimate, they don't seem to have any reason. So they didn't fake the results, Ruby did. Ooh. Adrian Rowland. So she didn't give her hair in person. So they absolutely could have done him against just about anyone, right? Neutral third party. Adrian Rowland. Who did this one? Adrian Rowland. So this is actually Felix's stuff. It's definitely Courtney May's hair. Signature's the same. Why does it say example? So... why wouldn't they be blood relatives? Because their mom is the root tree, right? Unless this isn't her dad. But why would that change anything? Or I guess maybe they're related, but she's not related to her. But then she wouldn't be a root tree, so it has to be in here. How does that make any sense? Why wouldn't they be root trees? He's an addict? But wasn't it gambling? He doesn't have... because addictive personality can be like a genetic thing, right? Sudden case of pneumonia. Re-release, da-da-da-da. Recently, as part of a myriad of articles and research people have done into the surrounding the Roottrees, it came out she died of a genetic disease known as Huntington's. Huntington's. Yeah, neurodegenerative disease. Causes memory issues and uncontrollable movements in the limbs. After symptom onset somewhere between age 30 and 50, those affected by Huntington's typically live another 15 to 18 years as their symptoms worsen. There's no cure. Passed genetically from parent to child. The gene that causes Huntington's works in such a way that if a parent has the disease, there's a 50-50 chance that their child will get it. Huntington's cannot be passed on recessively, meaning it cannot skip a generation. In other words, if someone has a mother or father with Huntington's, but they themselves did not receive it from that parent, their child and their grandchildren and so on will also never have it. Until the early 1990s, it was impossible to test for Huntington's. Instead, symptoms would usually appear later in life. This would often be after the person affected already had children. It would then be impossible to know if their children had it, as it was a 50-50 chance. Due to determining which genes causes Huntington's, it did become possible to test children for it and know if the disease was passed on or not. For a variety of complex reasons, however, children are considered unable to consent to such a test, therefore rarely tested unless they're showing early symptoms. That did count. Both of those counted. So one of these has got to be Leslie's kid. Just don't know who. Update Robbie Roottrees. Look up Ron Roottrees. Ron was announced as next president, immediately reversed. Ron was dropped entirely. Some veer into heavy speculation based on an article about Ron in Business Watch. Okay, let's look up that. Ron Roottrees in Business Watch. What really happened with Roottrees? Mentions that nobody from Roottrees that they reached out to was willing to go on the record. Instead, the timeline of events has been constructed from public record, accidental leaks, and a source on the inside. The only parts that are new to you are also the most vague parts. Timeline says that the family actually held a preliminary vote after Carl Roottrees died. 6 pieces, because of his experience running RR Productions, and because he was a well-known and well-respected Roottrees. But Ron seemed way too eager and personally motivated. They were worried he would gut the Glantz Trust to remove Robbie Roottrees. The family was notoriously unwilling to do anything that could risk their wealth. They stalled, and Ron became frustrated with the delay. When 6 Pieces came out, he saw his chance to force action while the family was in the limelight and released the press release himself in an attempt to get the ball rolling faster. This caused chaos within the family. They tried to save face by allowing Ron to take over as co-president with Clark, but according to Business Watch's source, Ron was impossible to deal with. He seemed like he was unwilling to protect the Glantz Trust, and they eventually let him go. After that, the role passed solely to Clark, who nobody was excited about, but seemed like the safest choice. What if Robbie actually isn't a Roottrees then? Harrison Lane. Yeah, that's old. Ooh, what about Walter? Wild Bill Williams. Yeah, this is new. Did not make an appearance at Gwen Roottrees' funeral. Because of his absence, there are rumors online that he must have already died, but according to a reporter that tracked him down, he's in his 70s, still lives in Paris, and is still in perfectly fine health. He even went on record as saying, "I think it was Mark Twain who said the rumors of my death have been greatly exaggerated." That seems appropriate today. The few years I spent with Gwen were just one stop along the very long and complicated journey that has been my life and career. The last time we spoke was when I signed the divorce papers. She asked me to never contact her or the kids again. I've always respected those wishes. They never reached out to me either, even as adults, so I have to assume they have some idea of why she hated me so much, and the sacrifices she made on my behalf. I wish them well, and I'm sorry for their loss, but we've all been strangers for 40 years, so I can confidently say they wouldn't have wanted me to be there. In fact, I'm confident my presence would have ruined it. Fortune favors the grave. Yeah, that just gives us the same stuff. Can we look up Mark Twain? No. Okay, I think we're... Yeah, that counted. Kinda hoping to find, like, something more about her. What if Wild Bill Williams is here? Walter Forsythe. Just pulls up that. Okay. This has to be a website. Movie news, count a canister. Oh, dropping out in wake of a serious medical issue. Ron. Either it's your medical issue or it's your brother's. Ooh, okay. Gives us the same thing. So it's only a rumor. My brother and I, after spending time together caring for her in mourning, have finally made amends. It was a highly transformative few weeks. Parks got married again. Yeah. We sure he's not? Blondes mostly. Did a friend a favor, he was directing a war movie and asked me to play a small part. Invisibly pregnant. I don't think Ronald's a root tree. Right? Still one more clue. Ron, root tree, Huntington's. Okay, let's just search up Huntington's. I guess we'll go down. Is it disease or is it just Huntington's? Bicoti? No. We're just gonna go down. Okay, yeah, nothing there. What if we... They're not much older. We could look up Penelope Tessa Green. Oops. I'm missing something here. We look at VHS. I miss having a VHS player. When I was growing up, I think it was Felix the Cat. We had a VHS tape of that, and then my mother tried to sell it during a garage sale, and she wouldn't let me just take it back. I had to buy it back, and I was like, that's ridiculous. But I sure did. Which that's this. What if we look up? Look it up here. We could look up RR Productions. Although it's definitely a website that we're missing. What if I just go through all these and show the older? Audiences. Did we get this? Oh yeah, that just gave us that. The flop of Christmas mission. Only found mentions of the Christmas mission on a site about movies that flopped. During the height of Roottrees mania, it was announced Christmas mission was slated to be released on VHS, but due to mild reception of Guys Like Us received, and due to the fact that Christmas mission was a flop to begin with, the release was cancelled. Oh, Soldier's Wife. So this was the movie that Wild Bill Williams was cut out of. Where did we find that? Where did we find that Christmas mission? On a page called Flops. One more there to find, and we still have... Oh, we've got 2 more here now. Got a periodical and a website. I want to find it just to, like... We need to know if he's actually got Huntington's. Seems like he probably does. Like, why else would we be able to search her up? Marriage? Wild Bill Williams? Due to multiple affairs, including one with another actress. When was that movie? When did Guys Like Us come out? 1953. Um... 1957. Her divorce in 1958. Okay. Yeah, so I guess it must be Ron who's not the root tree. Just don't know what to look up to get that last website here. Like, I'm wondering if there's more speculation about him having Huntington's, but I can't figure out what I should look up. I feel pretty confident about everything else, though. This was an arranged marriage, so yeah. And then there's also a couple more things that we need here to look up. I feel like some sort of correlation between Ruby and Felix. They're working together. I just can't figure out. Like, they were in foster care together. They had to have been. Could look up Beatrice Watts. Or I guess we technically already have, haven't we? Let's look up these people. Ruby Legal Enterprises. Gotta be more to this. Top of her class. Both from Portland. Ruby and David. What if we come to Portland Telegraph, David Fellows. Riley Fellows. Lana Fellows. Briefly mentioned a few times around the time of her death, discovery of her body, details about the night she disappeared. Yeah, she was a cashier. I want to get the last few things. Oh, another song? I thought I searched all the songs. Oh, wait. claims that it's not possible he was born in 1977, as he claimed on a song called 17 Magazine that he turned 17 in 1992. The editor responds with a statement they've reached out to his agent to ask about the song. Wasn't performed by 5 Piece. Okay, 17 Magazine. Unreleased and controversial song by Dirty Davy. Mentions of it on a few sites, claiming that it was on the first release of his first mixtape, but it was removed. No audio or visual evidence. So he's older than people thinks he is. Independent accounts from people who have claimed to have heard it, they do generally line up. Intro states it was written on Davy's 17th birthday, involving a fictional but glorified series of murders at a fashion show for a teenage magazine with a similar name to the song title. The person doing the violence was apparently trying to beat Dahmer's high score. Due to major acts of gun violence in schools earlier this year and the subsequent backlash against violent music and video games, it is generally considered in very poor taste to bring it up. Most of the people that enjoy mentioning it online are either trolls trying to shock people or come from the more morbidly curious corners of the internet. Did he kill his mom? Okay, so that's that. Wait, let's look this back up. At a fashion show for a teenage magazine. The similar name to the song title. "17 Magazine Fashion Show?" Wait, we haven't looked up Dirty Davy in Portland, have we? Fountain of Views. Is that what we were missing? Yeah, that's what we were missing. Okay. Still this one, though. I'm just gonna rubber ducky. Ron and Robbie's, maybe something has changed the last 8 months. Yeah, that Ron and Clark would take over. Done some interviews. He hopes to release a movie about it someday. Which we looked this up. Pico tea. No, nothing. I was kind of hoping we'd get some inside. Ooh, what about Silver Screen? Don't blame nepotism, he gets results. They're finding some small screen success, first as the director for many soap opera episodes, then stepping in as the showrunner. To turn around a few struggling productions, Ron has decided to start his own television production company. Born in the US but grew up in Paris with his once famous mother and his brother Robbie. Gobbled up American cinema whenever he could. Turned to Hollywood to attend film school. Special kind of charisma. Plans to pitch new shows to a major television studio as soon as 1986, which was Brother Trouble, right? Small Rumors article from 1992 that claims self-taught television screenwriter Robbie Roottrees was allegedly tried and convicted under the name Robert in French court of law. Yeah, embezzling, alleged. RR Productions? Okay, that's the same thing. But it's definitely a website, so I guess periodicals aren't going to help me right now. Ooh. PMS has been in the news for his addiction both before and after the death of his wife. Publicly went into rehab. Hasn't appeared in any new movies. Here we go. I forgot the dash in her name. That's what it was. Comedian Penelope Tessa Green was part of a recent fundraiser at the Reno Comedy Club, The Laugh Lounge, about a month ago. Fundraiser called The Best Medicine was to help find a cure for Huntington's disease. According to the website, she released a statement. Up until recently, I didn't know anything about Huntington's. In the last few months, I've gone from knowing nothing to learning it. Knowing from nothing about it to learning more than any one person should ever have to. Less than a decade ago, it was impossible to predict if someone susceptible to Huntington's had the disease. But due to advances in medicine, tests have been developed. Okay. I think we have it. Okay, I'm ready. Confirm. Finished. Nice, nice. Hell yeah. Ooh yeah.
Beatrice and Courtney May. Clark, can you swing another test against Bonnie's DNA?
This time I'll be sure to have them verify both samples in person.
Using the family tree you filled out, as well as DNA tests, we were able to uncover the truth behind all the inconsistencies. Clark's handling the business, but I've come to thank you and fill you in on everything we've learned.
Okay, I think we've
Buckle
got
up,
it.
because it's been one heck of a week. Actually, that's an understatement. It's not every week you discover your family company is being sabotaged by someone they trusted. But that's the kind of time we've been having. Like I said, buckle up. Maybe grab some popcorn.
So all of them but Felix
We'll start
were
with Guy
correct.
Hudson. Guy had a frankly ridiculous number of potential children. What shocked me is how many graduated from potential to confirmed.
Yeah.
We can even prove he was aware of them. The smoking gun was how he used company money to pay
She was
off
butterscotch.
He hid it with a method inspired by his idol, Elias.
Yeah.
5-piece flavors. The flavors he was paying to research were a ruse. He developed flavors based on the initials of the women he was paying.
Oh my god,
Which
that's
was
so
really stupid,
smart.
considering one of their names started
Well, not smart,
with
but
X.
that makes so much sense. Oh
Let's
my
start
god.
with Christine. Guy was paying her under the name Caviar, but there were some other clues. James was born 9 months after Zach's party. Christine was there with Guy. When she got pregnant, she panicked. Steve stepped up. He even turned it into one of his recipe stories.
Yeah, with the 2 buns in
Not
the
all
oven.
of Guy's affairs led to offspring. He may have slept with Robin Martin, but she didn't have children, so we'll never know. Also, not every child of Guy's affair partners were his. Robert Garland was born after his parents had already moved to Boston.
Oh. I thought they were twins. Were they not twins?
Skipping Beatrice for now. Up next is Lang Xin-yu. When Guy showed up in China, she was into America. And Americans. Dare I say redheads, even? When she got pregnant, her father paid key genes to fake IVF. They claimed her sister was unable to conceive. But her sister and Jerry had their own son, Mark.
Okay, so far we got one wrong, but that was my assumption that they were twins and I didn't look into it further. Had I looked into it further, we probably would have gotten it.
Sonia Alves was soon after. Nia was married at a very young age to a much older husband. She resented him. I don't blame her. They allegedly spent no time together in private. Guy was in Brazil during Christmas 1979.
And
It's
she's
the only
all
Christmas
eyes
on
for
the
him.
records. Flavio was born 9 months later, and like the others, Guy started paying Sonia. Last was Susan Ford, hired to translate for Guy's overseas trips. It's easy to
no
read of
definitive
Guy's donation
proof.
to her school, but there's no definitive proof there. She and Guy were witnessed together near the end of his life.
So are they
Susan's husband
not
was
enough to
convinced
know?
he couldn't be the father of her daughters. Guy, though, paid double. The price of twins.
That's true. So they are.
So, what about 5 Ps? Felix Fellow's mother, Joanna, doesn't have a 5 pieces flavor. On top of that, his story doesn't really add up. His mother already left the company by the time Guy became
That
president.
is true.
And his lyrics indicate he was born sometime around 1975. Alone, that wouldn't necessarily prove it. But there are some suspicious connections between Felix and the company's current lawyer, Ruby Spratt. They both grew up in Portland, in foster care, and according to the local paper, they definitely knew one another. Ruby was the one who approached the Roottrees to begin with.
Yeah.
It was all a setup. Ruby and Felix saw my book's challenge to the Clancet Trust as an opportunity. His mother really had worked for Roottrees, and Ruby was a respected lawyer. She exploited my family's greed, worked her way into control of the trust, and ensured Felix got a piece. If you look at the 2 DNA tests that Ruby handled, they were both supposedly tested against Bonnie Hudson.
But they weren't the same, yeah.
But the 2 signatures that should both represent Bonnie don't match. After Clark and I confronted her, Ruby lawyered up. Ironic, I know. We suspect Ruby had Donatico test Felix against his own mother's DNA. He had a hairbrush of hers.
Oh,
They
yeah.
sent the female sample in remotely. On the second test, Bonnie's sample was tested locally, but Courtney May's was not. Ruby's been throwing away samples. We think she sent her own hair instead of Courtney May's, but it could have been anyone's. Ruby and Felix were in cahoots. As for why, they were both advocates of wealth redistribution. A noble effort. But once they controlled the family fortune,
They just wanted
they
it for
became
themselves.
just as greedy as the worst members of my family.
Yeah.
The money corrupted them. They were so eager to personally wield the wealth for their own cause that they sabotaged any other claims. That finally brings us to Anonymom, aka
Anonymom.
Beatrice Watts. Her tales of guys' parties and payoffs were true. She even approached Ruby before 5Ps was on news time. Ruby used Beatrice's truths to make Felix's lies feel real, then ruined the DNA test so that Beatrice looked phony in the public court of opinion. I feel worst for her in all of this.
Yeah.
While Ruby and Felix stole the show, there were some other potential new family members as well. Miracle Roottrees was less of an open and shut case. That said, it's very likely he had a son with Mary Beth Clementine. Not Stuart. Mary Beth adopted him before she ever set foot in Butler County. That leaves Mark. The timeline fits. He showed up about 9 months after Mary Beth visited Miracle. And the basket baby story is a bit too convenient. If that's not enough on its own. He was also bailed out by the sister of Edith Roottrees, Miracle Jr.'s wife, after she changed her name to win that silly contest. Our best guess is that Mark was told by his mother whose son he was, and used that fact to put some pressure on Miracle Jr. We have no real proof of that, but nothing else really makes sense for why they'd be connected in that way.
Yes. That's such a good photo.
Elias's affair was the most ambiguous. Gwyneth was able to coerce Elias to do things he wouldn't have otherwise done, like pressure to include me in the family. My son even mentioned them arguing about someone named Beth. Combined with Gwyneth's lisp, it's possible the name was actually Bess. Unfortunately, all we know about Bess Williams is that she wrote his book and died not long after, leaving her only son an orphan.
But we don't actually
The timeline
know.
fits with Wildcat, but there's no record if she had any other relationship. Honestly, I wouldn't say we had enough evidence either way.
That's what I
wouldn't
said.
be surprised if Elias cheated. Of course, I'm a bit biased. Regardless, we haven't gotten in touch with any of the Williams clan yet. That means we haven't been able to do a DNA test. As Clark mentioned, from here on out, all of our DNA tests will be in person for both parties.
Good call.
Lastly, we have a bit of a curveball. Ron Roottrees isn't related to us by blood. Gwyn was definitely pregnant, so it's likely Robbie is. When Ron and Robbie went to visit their mother at the end of her life, something changed. Additionally, there have been a few rumors circling around Ron. RR Productions canceled the guys.
Oh, we were so good with this. Holy shit.
Illness. At the same time, Ron's wife Penelope began doing benefits for Huntington's disease, stating that she had become familiar with it. Huntington's is the same disease that Gwyn's former co-star Leslie Florence had. It's passed from parent to child. It can't skip a generation. Because Gwyn and Wild Bill didn't have Huntington's, and Ron seems to, it's impossible Gwyn was his mother. I recently confirmed all this with Ron. At the end of her life, Gwyn told Ron the story. Leslie and Bill had an affair the same year Leslie learned she had Huntington's. Leslie got pregnant. Leslie wasn't likely to survive to see her child grow up. And even if she did, she didn't want to be a burden. She begged Gwyn and Wild Bill to adopt her child. Gwyn did. Mere weeks after she found out she was having her own son, she also took in Ron. Wild Bill was a problem. Unreliable and a serial adulterer. Gwyn divorced him and never saw him again. Gwyn had already told Starlet she was pregnant, so it never really made waves when people saw her with a child in Paris. There was gossip during her divorce when she was discovered to be pregnant again. In actuality, it was the final months of her only pregnancy.
Yeah.
To lay low, she stayed in Paris long enough that even her own family never had reason to question the timeline. It's one heck of a story, and frankly, nobody could be expected to piece the timeline together.
We did.
Not with what few mentions of Gwyn's past have survived. But the Huntingtons itself? That's proof. Ron suing Robbie to remove him from the Clancet Trust was a huge moment in my story, and a major catalyst.
Which
for
is
this
crazy because
entire
he's not even
investigation.
blood related.
Finding out that it's been pretty much backwards this whole time has been a bit surreal. So that's where we're at. Looking over the information you sent us was very helpful. We pretty much came to most of the same conclusions. But it took us an entire team of lawyers. All this information, this entire story, it's a lot, in more ways than one. Some of it has the potential to destroy marriages and ruin relationships. We're handling it all very, very carefully, but we couldn't have gotten here without you. And with that, I guess our tale has finally, truly come to an end. What a strange one it was. No words
Dang.
can express how grateful I am to you for untangling this mess. Honestly, I've had enough of my family's eccentricities and scandals for one lifetime. I imagine you have as well. And if not, well, there's always Elias's and Gwyneth's brothers and sisters.
Oh, that was so good.
This is 5-piece coming at you from the real world. You know, the place you ain't ever lived in.
You say money.
So, if I had just taken the time to verify if the two brothers were twins or not, which I just assumed they were twins for some reason, I think we probably would have gotten all of them right. So we just missed one. There we go. That was so good. I'm so glad we finished that. Let me achievement wise, we're at 19 of 22. Let's see what we're missing. We're missing let the machine handle the coal. Oh, and the base game. I'll probably do that one on my own. We're missing that. We're missing... What's the deal with all these Roottrees? I have no idea how to get that. Completed every family Doku puzzle. I did look that up, but... Let's come back here. Yeah, this was the one we messed up. So where does it say... Oops, not what I wanted to do. Chef's signature. 3 years younger. That's my bad. In that case... Family Doku. We launched a demo version of Family Doku at home. A lot of our fans were excited about our intuitive and revolutionary interface and how clever the initial 5 puzzles were. Please email us here. Can I only do it in the base game, or can I do it here? Coming soon, a digital version. We have to look at the full... Oh. Ha ha ha. Welcome to Family Doku at home. Now you too can play the addicting puzzle taking the world by storm. Please use logic to place all the names in their correct spots on the family tree. Every puzzle has only one correct answer, or one correct solution. Rectangles denote descendants of the family, blood relatives. Ovals denote spouses. Both men and women can be spouses. All marriage are between a man and a woman unless marked with a rainbow. Children's last names are always inherited from their father, even if their father is a spouse. Siblings all have been named in alphabetical order, right to left or left to right. Family members with the same first name must follow special generational rules. Father, son, grandfather, grandson. Gotcha. Okay. So this is Corbin Tilly. So this is a spouse. We got Po, Po, Po. Bethany, Martha, Rob. So it'd have to be... like that, right? Yeah. Okay, spouse. Got a whole lot of Sweeneys, we got a whole lot of 2 opals, 4 apples, 3 Sweeneys. Four apples, okay. I'm just gonna put them like this for now. Oh wait, patriarch. A, B, C, D, E. Okay. Just because there's 4 and that's the only place that can fit 4. Okay, so Sam would have to be there. Geller. Felix, Gertrude. There we go. I'm getting it now. Spouse. If father and son share both first and last name, the son must have a junior, yeah, third and fourth. Okay. So 1, 2, 3. Got 3, 4 deans. Two Munsons. Oh, 5 deans. Okay. I was like, wait, that doesn't work. So that's possible only if this name comes after M. Which would be that. And we've got, oh yeah, because Michael and Michael can't. Oh, that's so weird. Hyphenated last names are always created from the last name of both parents with the father's name first. Okay, gotcha. Tons of poppers. Mark and Mark. So we got potentially Jane, Jerry. Can I reorganize these? Wait, why doesn't that? Oh, because then he'd have to be a junior. LW. Steve's gotta go here. Jerry, Jane. That wasn't too bad. We're making our way. Holy. Pally Hoot, or Wally Hoot Jr., which means that's gotta be Wally Hoot. Or I guess there's more owls, so that's Wally Hoot. Are there any other Mandys? No. 1, 2, 3. So they're here. So A, D, R. Then Monroe. And then these are the rest of the spouses. M. Da-da. Oh wait, that doesn't work, does it? Oh, that's gotta be Quincy, that's gotta be Margaret, because these are all women. Margaret. Alicia. Laura. Ooh, okay. Inez? Is there another Inez? No. 3. 3 and 3. 1, 2, 3. Got. Ooh. Robert's Ash. Do they just take Roberts then? If he's here? But I need 1, 2, 3, 4. So maybe he's here. And then N O P Q R S. Potentially. Oh, that doesn't work. Okay. Oh wait, no, Patrick and Patrick, right? No, so Patrick is here. Ah, okay. Got it. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Do Marcus Jr. So A C M potentially. Rachel Horn. There. Do we have a Rachel? No. We don't have any more guys for this. This could also be here. Oh wait, we've got another Hamilton. Two Trishas. Okay, that could potentially work. That could potentially work. She marries Chad. They have Trisha. Marries him. No. Hamilton has to be the dad. Oh, this is confusing. Ah, because this would just be Hamilton here. Trisha. Does it take that's technically the paternal side. Gotcha. So oh, I could have this backwards though. Like that. Yeah, I had it backwards. Gay marriage, yay! Okay. Oh, it could be here though. And then like that. That could definitely work. But they're not Chungs. They're probably pews. Oh, F. marks. We have multiple marks. So that could be like that. Why doesn't that work? Oh, he'd have to be a junior. Or no. Why does that matter? Also, that wouldn't be a pew. That's how that works, okay. But that also doesn't work with this. That's the only place this can fit, though. Oh, that's where that goes. Okay. There we go. Holy. That one was tough. So they split up. Priscilla. So all we know is that this is a girl. Okay, we at least need 3 with the same last name here. 2, 3, 4, 5 sprouts. It could be Leeds. Leeds would work. Sprout's probably this side. Peter Sprout. Third. Daniela Sprout. And then this is probably this side. We've got another Sprout here, actually. So this is actually... Oh no, that doesn't work. Shit. Let me take these out. Yeah, that doesn't work. So I guess sprouts on this side. Oh, there we go. So now it's these. We don't have another mandel, though. Oh. Here we go. There we go. So this has to be a guy. It'd have to be Mike, Chris. Does it matter? Oh. Shit. There we go. Holy. That was confusing. Last one. Okay. 4 Antonellis. Okay, here we at least need 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. These aren't juniors, so they have to be separated by like a generation. Maybe something like that. There's only 4 of them. I need 5 that way. Oops. That works, right? That totally works. We got the year between them? Or the generation between them? 1, 2, 3, 4. We put Corbin up here, and then Brittany, Misty, Trixie, perchance. James Pepper. We got 4 Peppers. So they'd be on this side. Three Odins. Ondin. Potentially be Alex. No, that's gotta be like that. There we go. Huge. That was fun. Exit. And now we've got... What's the deal with all these root trees? I'm gonna look it up. Achievement. Oh, okay. I think I might have to start a new save file for that anyways, but I think we can do it really fast. I have to type in Jerry Seinfeld as a relative. I have to put him in here, I think. Save and quit. Can I skip? Ooh. Okay. Nice. And then the last one that I've got is to let the phone ring. I don't know how many people you have to have for that. I think I might just do that one offline. Just copying over. Save and quit. That was a fun game. Had a ton of fun, and we finished it. I liked the puzzle. It was definitely harder than I expected it to be, but yeah. Hopefully, it looks like they've got maybe a new game. Release date 2026. I'll have to keep on the eye for that one, though. I like this game, and if this is anything similar, then I think that would be quite enjoyable. Yeah, I'm not entirely sure what I'm going to play tomorrow morning. I guess we'll decide then. I've got a couple of options. Potentially Resident Evil. Potentially... I did see Lorelei and the Laser Eyes is on sale, so I might buy that. Play that. I think I might lean towards Resident Evil, though, because with Resi 9 coming out next year, and I'm sure it might take me a hot minute to actually get through all of the Resis, but I own them all. I have them all. So we will play them. So maybe we'll start with one of those tomorrow. See what I'm in the mood for. But that was a lot of fun. I'm glad we finished it tonight. I was kind of on the fence about streaming because it was late, but I'm glad we did. But yeah, I guess I will see y'all tomorrow morning. Bye.